Hey Randall, just taking a video of my engine as a bonus point, so I'm going to take a quick run through this thing. So here we go. Okay, so where to start? I'll start on the intake side of things. So what we got is this is the intake here, and usually there's a big pipe that comes off this. You'll see it in the pictures. I've got a big length of it here. There you go down there, so you can use that to vent that to some cool intake on the 914. That then goes into a Jaguar XJS throttle body. I think it's something like 65mm throttle body. What I've put on the side of this, I've done a mounting here which takes the linkage. So there's a linkage there with a cable pulley down there, just out of shot. Then that goes around and does essentially a 180-degree into the back of the supercharger. You can't quite see it, but that's what it does. So the intake supercharger is at the back, comes into the supercharger, comes out at about 11, 12 psi, I think it is, underneath. It then goes back and around, so essentially it goes that way underneath, and then takes a 90-degree bend this way, and then comes out, and this is where the light is a bit poor, down bottom there, and that's where it then goes into the bottom of the charge cooler, which is this little beauty here. This is a water-cooled intercooler. It's got 3 passes. The water goes in at the back down there, comes this way, then comes up, comes this way, comes up, comes this way, and then goes out through there. You've also got a bypass valve on the supercharger, so when it's on overrun, this valve here opens up, and essentially the supercharger's freewheels, makes it nice and efficient. And this is the bypass pipe here. So then that comes up here after it's been cooled down, splits then off to the 2 intakes. What's also on the top here, because obviously this is fuel injected, you've got a T-map sensor, which is a temperature and manifold absolute pressure sensor. I've also got the boost sensor going off there to the dashboard. So the charge then splits, comes down and into the airboxes. And if we go over to this airbox, you'll also see on the side, possibly not, there you go, on the side there, there's also a temperature sensor that goes off to the dash as well, so you can see what temperature the charge is going in at. And then you've then got the intake runners. Again, poor light here, I'm afraid, but there you go. So you've got the intake runners here, you've got the fuel rails just in there, big Cosworth injectors, sorry. Then that obviously then goes into the engine, and off we go. A couple of other bits and pieces. You've got some pretty, well, I mean, these are the highest quality spark leads I could find. They're going off into a wasted spark coil in the back of the car. Not sure if I can get a shot of that, probably not. Also on the pulley side of things, just to run you through this a little bit, you've got a custom-made pulleys on this, and this. So they're actually ratioed for the correct boost. I've gone with the toothed pulley so that there's not too much tension on the belt, which results in pushing the fan bearings this way with a poly V belt, so you can get a slacker belt with a tooth, so also you get no slippage, so hence the tooth belt. This is the tensioning pulley, so this is underneath here. This has got a elongated hole, if you like, which goes this way, so essentially you can adjust this, and as you can see, this is fairly tight, but not too much. It's about the same tightness as a normal fan belt. Down the bottom here, if I let this focus a little bit, you'll see there's also a toothed wheel on top of the crank pulley with the pickup sensor for the ignition coming off that. And I think that's about it, really. You've got a fram oil filter down there, and the oil takeoffs down there, and you got quite nice connectors on the fuel rails here. They actually clip off units, so you essentially just hold your fingers on there and they actually clip off. nice and easy for maintenance. And I think that's about it. Okay, I'll speak to you soon.